Brilliant. Hello. Really excited to be recording this welcome call with you. So, this conversation is part of Coherence 2025. I'm here with Joshua and Stefan, who are representing Seeds of Tao and RegenBEE and a bunch of other organizations, which they'll tell you about. So thank you for accepting my invitation for this conversation. And I'm looking forward to learn about your work and how it connects and what brings you to Coherence 2025. So to start, and I guess there is two of you, so we'll go one by one. Can you pitch Coherence 2025 in your own words as you explain it when inviting people to it? Maybe start with Joshua.
Yeah, so I've invited a couple people so far, and I think it's changed a little bit each time for the context. But it's been really about collaboration. Both of the conversations that I've had so far within Coherence uh, have really been to determine and understand one another's work and get that first intro of like what you're doing, how you're doing it, and why I would like to chat with you because I would love to collaborate with the work that you're doing. And so I've been inviting and asking people in the collaborative technology space for this specific project for the Coherence and really sharing why I want to work with them and collaborate with them on the work that they're doing specifically. And that's how I've been introducing this, and how I say we're having this conversation. We're being very open and we're transparent in our conversations with everybody, so we can invite others into the conversation quickly as well. So we're recording these calls, and we're telling people that you can chat with the same folks that we're chatting with and collaborate and find ways to collaborate. And that's what the Coherence is all about. Coherence is about getting people to talk to one another, getting to understand them, and then figure out ways that we can work together, whether it's interoperability, whether it's actually building things together. Uh, those are the things that we're really trying to work towards. And so collaboration is key. Check.
Beautiful. Thank you. And you, Stefan, can you top that?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if top it, but this is the way I see it. We're we, as in humanity and all life on Earth, are living in the middle of the change of an era. And in this change of an era, we are moving away from a disconnected way of living on Earth towards a reconnected way of living on Earth. And there's a lot to do in that transition. And technology is very helpful in that. And so we're seeing a bunch of people build tech to help us collaborate, reconnect with our communities, with our work, different ecosystems of work, with our own selves to Earth. And it has gotten to the point that we are so disconnected and so focused in what we are building that all the stuff that we are building is quite similar to each other. And it's beginning to feel like we ought to be talking to each other a little bit more to understand who is building what, where, why, and how. And in those conversations, which are open, transparent, open-hearted, uh, we are trying to find opportunities and avenues to collaborate, shave off redundancies, maximize each other, enable each other to do the great work of transitioning to that era of reconnection that seems to be where we are all aligned. And where we diverge is in that when, how, where, what, why. And so coherence is that open invitation to create that alignment and to cohere in the ways that we move forward together with the tools that we are all building so that we can actually act quickly and efficiently economically, time-wise. And getting to know the people that are doing this, because that matters. We need to know who we are. Tech is built by people, and people influence the technology that they build by their own biases. So we need to get to that level of intimacy and understand who is in the ecosystem and where are we all going together.
I love it. Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I think this idea of we need to build relationships before we can build collaboration, and we need to have conversation before we can. I mean, we need conversation as a way of starting relationships.
Mm.
And something, yeah, the definition evolving, that's for sure true. I think it happens always. That's why I love when I'm working on an idea to be able to talk to people about it. And I think maybe this will also be a benefit for participating, is getting a chance to talk about your project with many people that are in a similar space and understand the rabbit hole that you're in. I think can be of a lot of value, even just not feeling alone. So I'm playing with framing, and I wanted to get your feedback. This will be a interactive session, maybe make it more interesting. So I'm playing of the framing as being wise AI. Have you guys come across the idea of wise AI?
I don't think I have.
You have to watch that talk with George Poor. I'll repost it. But
Mm-hmm.
anyways, you've come across the idea of intelligence versus wisdom, right? So going from there, how do we make AI, which is not just artificially intelligent, but has the ability to be wise and to help us be more wise? So that's kind of what we're going for AI. So wise AI and conscious collaboration. I'm trying conscious collaboration as a headline because all of the other things that we're talking about are very descriptive, but very long. Do you think conscious collaboration might work? As in we apply consciousness and collaboration and bring them together.
I like it. Yeah.
Like the
As a
alliteration.
framing.
Yeah, I mean, as a tagline, right? I mean, of course, each of those needs to be unpacked into pages and books, but as a tagline to pull people in.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool, great. So then the next question is, tell me about the organizations you are part of and how they connect to Coherence. Do we continue in the same order, or do we want to go? I don't know.
Yeah, let's keep it the same order.
All right. So why don't you go, Joshua?
Okay. Yeah. So
Connect.
I'll briefly mention Seeds of DAO because it's becoming less relevant as RegenBEE is being built. And so I'll mention Seeds of DAO briefly as we're building out. It's a family business that my wife and I started to help regenerative entrepreneurship and the entrepreneurs that are making that happen, helping us to move towards bioregional economics, regenerative economics, and helping individuals to really take on the risk of making that transition as entrepreneurs. What it's now become is Seeds of DAO is more a focus on working with the fractional businesses, the fractional growth professionals, I guess you could say, within regeneration or even verticals like climate that want to move towards more regenerative work, and helping those growth professionals actually create what regenerative growth could be, because it's not a thing yet, right? And we're trying to understand and make that transition, do unlearning. So that's what Seeds of DAO is, and what it's becoming. What RegenBEE is, it's a fair share commons model that we're setting up. It's a startup in itself, but it's stewarded by everybody and owned by none. And so we're creating a closed commons. When I say stewarded by everybody, there's a few businesses right now, 3 businesses, Seeds of DAO being one of those, Evolutesix and Carco, which is a development company, a tech development company. that we're coming together to build a collaborative platform and association for regenerative entrepreneurship, but largely RegenBEE stands for two things: regenerative business economics ecosystem, or you can actually say regenerative bioregional economics ecosystem. You can say either, and it would be correct in what we're building. And that's an association that's really trying to gather and then organize the latent potential that the regenerative movement is creating within bioregions or within certain business verticals or cycles. And I'll leave it there so that Stefan could add to it and add his organizations that he's working with and that we're partnering with as well.
Beautiful. Yeah. So as many of us are, I represent several organizations. The first one I'll speak about is the organization that I am currently coming from, which is Evolutesix. Evolutesix is a venture builder for regenerative business ecosystems. And we have developed a way of building startups into business ecosystems that enables the development, or that enables the conditions for the development across what we call all six strata, which are basically layers that go all the way from inner development through interdevelopment, through to ecosystem-wide development, through to the global level of the economy. And we use this framing very consciously to indicate that in order for humanity to regenerate the economy effectively and create the structures, processes, protocols, and relationships that are needed to usher a regenerative global economy, we need to work inwardly and outwardly. And so Evolutesix has focused as much in the development of strong emancipatory legal structures for companies, as well as the interdevelopmental tools to support the running of such organizations, and the container that is needed to hold ecosystems of companies with the types of resource pooling mechanisms that are necessary for anti-fragility. So that's Evolutesix, venture builder. The other organizations that I am representing, I am currently the director for the Certificate on Regenerative Entrepreneurship at the University for International Cooperation. Just like Evolutesix, a very pioneering institution. The UCI, or UIC if you want the acronym in English, has been around since the 1995, 94. So it's been 30 years of furthering regenerative development here in Costa Rica. We were the first university in the continent to offer a online master's program all the way back already in the 90s. And out of UCI, several regenerative enterprises or projects have been born. One of the most notable of them has been Costa Rica Regenerative, which has become a center for practice and execution of regenerative practices in the territory, carrying out everything all the way from building urban farms through to biodiversity baseline measurement, soil health measurement, regenerative grazing consulting, community activation, ambassador coherence for regenerative development. And the program that I am a part of is one of the first of its kind, if not the first of its kind, surely the first of its kind in the country, enabling a wide sector of society, entrepreneurs, consultants, ecosystem builders, amateurs, enthusiasts, to grow their capacity to understand and practice regenerative development with a community that is equally determined to create the type of life-affirming world that we need so very desperately. Other organizations that I represent include ReFi Costa Rica, of which I am a new member of the new generation of leadership. where our goal is to support the education and adoption of Web3 technologies, particularly as it pertains to support regenerative development initiatives, agroecological development in the countryside, technical skill building for digital interfacing. And the other organization that I represent is RegenBEE, that Evolutesix is a co-founder of, alongside Seed Studio, which, as you can already tell, there's much overlap in the way that we think and the way that we are trying to move forward together. If I put it in my own words, it's a similar approach as Evolutex's venture builder and accelerator program for latent potential markets or ecosystemic value chains, with the intent of stimulating the economy's capacity to supply and demand regenerative products and services so that we can move forward into an economy that respects natural law. And obviously the associated community that comes with building the associated community that comes as a very fundamental component of moving forward in that way. Check.
Wow, amazing. We have a powerhouse of organizations just between you two. It feels like we could do a conference with just the organizations you two guys are part of. It's already a family. So next I wanted to ask, what questions and what needs are your organizations bringing to Coherence?
Yeah. Excuse my French, but I suppose that the main question that I have is, why the fuck are we not collaborating more? What is your problem? What's going on inside of you that needs some care, compassion, love, attention, diligence, support, to bring you out of your shell, to collaborate open-heartedly and be honest and transparent and follow through with your word and be diligent about the agreements that we have established. And why do you want to build the next big thing? What's the matter with this? Where does that drive come from? Where is it leading you to? Are you willing and open to talk about co-creating, co-building something that is larger than either of us may ever aspire to be, that is in service to life on this planet? How can we help you overcome those barriers? What do you need? What do you need to hear? Who do you need to meet? What spaces do you need to be invited into? What processes and experiences do you need to be a part of, to understand that the only way forward is with a fundamental basis of collaboration, whereupon then we can go and play competition and try to be better than the other and excel in that competition, but with a strong, fundamental, solidaric, collaborative foundation. What's up with that? Check.
I don't even have to add anything to that. That was awesome, Stefan. Like, seriously. Yeah, it's all about collaboration. And the questions that I'm asking is, how do we make it happen together? And if not for you and whoever I'm talking to, who do you need to talk to that would make the work that you're doing carry forward in a bigger way? And those collaborations are key. So yeah, it's everything is in regards to how we can collaborate together or how you can collaborate with others, right? If it's not with the work, if it doesn't align with the work that we're doing. Yeah, check.
And I'll add one last question to that, to the funders and the investors. What do you need to see to put your money into this? If not saving life on Earth, which is the source of all your wealth, what more do you need?
Nice.
You're on
Yeah,
a roll, man. Seriously.
I I love that. And yeah, I think the collaboration is, how do we collaborate better ecosystemically? And I see a whole bunch of ideas tied in there for me. First of all, I believe that the reason that this movement, our side, this thing, whatever it is, will win is because we will out-collaborate the mainstream world. Because when you do appreciate that we're all on one planet, we all have the same fundamental purpose, then it's much easier, I believe, to collaborate across many more dimensions than if our only connection is financial exchange of services or whatever, right? We have a deep underlying shared purpose. So I believe that that will bring us together. Also, I believe that the existing world is actually pretty crappy at using human resources and collaboration, and information is become effectively free. It's not like how much information can you produce, but how effectively can you consume it, and how effectively can you share it and get other people on board your idea train. And I think, yeah, I believe that there we will just be fundamentally better because our cause is more unifying. At the same time, if we can't figure out and if we can't out collaborate the existing structures, then maybe we are wrong and we don't have it, right? I see it as fundamentally, it's a Darwinian evolution of systems, and the system which is better at using resources is the one that will win in the long run. And I believe we can easily be better at using the resources of humans, because people that are happy and excited and believe and love what they're working on are just fundamentally better at what they do. But we need to get to that point, and getting the collaboration working and people being supported and all of that is a key part of it. So definitely, yes, yes, yes. And we only have 1 or 2 minutes, but let's just briefly say, what kind of projects would you like to invite to Coherence 2025?
I want to invite projects that are building the digital infrastructure, particularly for multi-capital valuation and flows. I think the recording is quite important. And for those who are building the digital infrastructure for meeting online, but gathering in place with a fundamental regenerative drive.
The list that I've kind of compiled is always growing and evolving of the folks that I want to chat with. But it really focuses on 2 points. One is first gathering. It's how do we more easily gather the right people at the right time in the right place. And that could be online, that could be bioregionally. It definitely needs to be bioregionally, and it needs to be place-based. But the gathering is huge. And then the second piece of that is the organization. How do we better organize after we've been gathered? And so that's kind of the 2 pieces that I'm wanting to see technology really make easy, is for us to be able to gather quickly and get things done in that way. And then for us to be able to get those things done, the organization has to be superb. And we are because we're so collaborative in this ecosystem, that has to be so well organized, way more than these top-down approaches that you'd see like Jeff Bezos or Google or any of these other companies that have actually ruined a lot of commons, right? If we're going to reinvent the commons and help protect it, it has to be very well organized work of very decentralized groups of people. And so that's the 2 pieces that I see technology playing in this. And that's who I'm really inviting to the conversation, those that are working together and then to organize and to do that through tech.
Yeah, I love it. I think also for me, there is a part around trust, and I'm really curious how technology can be used to better share and build trust in collaboration and online, right? Like the example that I shared with you guys before of the refugee-run organization that can't get funding because they can't establish trust from funders because they don't have all of the processes and all of those things. And there's so many, like collaboration is all based on trust, right? Moving at the speed of trust and all of this. How can we get technology? And this is something that I'm really interested, I think, and where I see a lot of our exploration will be. Web3 started with like nobody trusts anybody, decentralized, autonomous kind of a model. But in actual fact, most human collaboration is done in trustful environments. And we haven't built out the technologies to operate in trustful environments. So we've taken the 0.1% of the use cases of collaboration, which is, it's effectively like sand or corn markets, right? Where you don't, or oil, right? You don't really know where it came from or whatever. You're just buying oil. Your trust is in the product, not in the person providing it. But that's so rare. Most of the time, and more, the things that we need to do, we need more trust. So I wonder how we can build systems to support that. Nice, cool. I'm excited. Really looking forward to going on the coherence journey together.
Yes, likewise. Thanks, Victor, for bringing us together.